Kazakhstan has chosen the multi-vector integration. Its trends, collisions, and prospects are coming up in the Single Market Program.
Today in the program, EAEU, Customs give approval. Grain season, issues and perspectives. Road to European market from UNIDO experts. Almaty starts investment season. Hello, I am Yerke Bulan Bekmuhambiet. You are watching the Single Market Program. The famous French politician Jacques Delors, who made a great contribution to the creation of the European Union, compared the process of integration with cycling. According to him, as soon as one stops pedaling, he falls down. These words can be attributed to the Eurasian Economic Union. Therefore, structures that are interconnected with integration interests within the EAEU are trying to follow what is happening and to make adjustments to their plan from time to time. The year of 2018 will be included in the history of the Eurasian Economic Union as a year that passed under the sign of the new customs code. By its final version, this document has gone through the thorns of disputes, disagreements, and debates for more than 5 years. Commission, such a long and difficult journey was not in vain. Firstly, the code removed a significant part of the outstanding issues. Secondly, it brought to unification those issues that were previously, due to inconsistencies, dropped on national legislation. In many ways, this was achieved thanks to the participation of representatives of the business communities of the Integration Union in the development of new sets of customs laws. Their interests in the Eurasian Economic Commission are defended by the Business Council, which, by the way, was created at the initiative of Kazakhstan at the Astana Economic Forum in 2015.
В частности, 70% всех предложений, которые
In particular, 70% of all proposals that are included in the Customs Code are those that were received from the business. And for us, it is fundamentally important that the business would be pleased with the document that we have developed. The key novelty of this document is its structure. In the previous code, most of the customs issues were regulated within the member countries of the Union. In the new one, they are solved jointly at the level of an integration association. Another important innovation that essentially changes the customs process itself is its digital format. In the conditions of development of the digital economy in the countries of the EAEU, such an algorithm will meet modern requirements.
Создается возможность для дистанционного обслуживания клиентов.
The opportunity for remote customer service is created. Electronic technology will be supported. We will strive to maximize the role of customs. And all this, of course, is primarily aimed at making the business environment more comfortable.
Бизнесу было более комфортно.
The new Code of Specialized Laws legally establishes the right of businessmen to carry out most of the customs procedures using the Internet. The same declaration, which was previously had to submit to customs posts, is now sent by email.
Кодекс и, в общем-то, вся работа, предшествующая его вступлению в силу,
The code and all the work that preceded its entry into force gave a powerful impetus to electronic technology in customs become irreversible. Customs services are proud to have reached a high level of electronic declaration. In the Russian Federation, it is 90% or more. In Belarus, it is more or less the same.
Электронного декларирования, там в России 90, там и выше процентов, в Беларуси близко к этому.
At the same time, the Eurasian Economic Commission recognizes that, firstly, not all countries of the Integration Union have mastered the introduction of electronic declarations as extensively as Russia and Belarus. Secondly, it is still not a good idea to completely abandon paper carriers during customs procedures. We must soberly assess the situation and understand that in some cases it is possible to compromise. The most eloquent example is the passengers flying in an airplane. Where will they fill in an electronic declaration? The global experience of integration associations shows that before their formation took place, they had to go through a long adaptation. This is a reality dictated by the transformation process. On January 1st, 2019, the new EAEU Customs Code will mark the first anniversary since it was launched. Some time should pass until it works in full force. Big changes require a lot of effort and patience. Laura Zusubekova, Moscow, Eurasian Economic Commission, especially for the single market. The results of the grain harvest in Russia and Kazakhstan, in the countries that being partners in the EAEU are among the world's exporters of grain, have not been finalized so far. But the forecasts are already there. Moreover, the regular marketing season of 2018 to 2019 started in July. Therefore, on the one hand, it is interesting to find out how the previous season was from the point of view of market experts, and on the other hand, to make plans for the future. Our observer, Alexander Galiev, will help us with this. Grain production is a growth driver for the agro-industrial complex and one of the main positions for exporting products to the EAEU. But there is a clarification. They have different weight categories. Kazakhstan is among the 15 largest grain producers and the world's top 10 exporters. At the same time, the Republic ranks first in the production of grain per capita.
Первое место по производству зерна на душу населения.
As for Russia, it is a global manufacturer and exporter. The past grain season was unique to it in all respects. Russia produced 105,400,000 tons of grain. Of these, 85,900,000 tons is in the share of wheat. Slightly less than half of this volume, which is 40,449,000 tons, is external deliveries. According to the results of the grain marketing year, which ended on June 30th, 2018, our partner in the Eurasian Economic Union won first place in the wheat export market, overtaking the United States and the European Union countries. Let's go back to Kazakhstan. The total grain area in 2018 was 15 million hectares. Of these, 11 million is wheat. Due to the diversification, its crops were reduced by 800,000 hectares. This decision is explained by objective reasons. The lack of access to deep water ports, increasing the cost of Kazakh wheat, compared to Russian, makes its exports less competitive.
С российской и делает ее экспорт менее конкурентным.
At the same time, the Republic is making efforts to optimize logistics. They expanded the opportunities for delivering grain to Aktau port. The Kazakh grain terminal operates in the Chinese port Lianyungang. Thanks to this infrastructure facility, in 2017, our country has mastered a new export route, Vietnam. The potential of the Kazakhstan-Turkmenistan-Iran railway transnational line, which is used to transport wheat and flour to Afghanistan, is also used.
Осуществляется транспортировка пшеницы и муки в Афганистан.
Instead of a resume, according to the forecast of the Global Agricultural Network, in the current marketing season, which will last until June 30th, 2019, external supplies of Kazakh wheat are estimated at 8 million tons. Russia will be able to export about 35 million tons, the USA 29 million, Canada 24 million, the European Union up to 23 million tons of wheat. That is, in Russia, despite the decline in production this season, will again head the top list of world exporters. This means that Kazakhstan will once again have to break into the external market in conditions of high competition, because both countries target the same export routes. That's it for today. My name is Alexander Galiev.
На этом у меня все. С вами был Александр Галиев.
In one of the issues of the program, we talked about the experience of implementing a project in Armenia with the participation of UNIDO, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. Now, the perspective of such a project has appeared in Kazakhstan. One of the UNIDO experts visited Almaty and studied the possibilities of small businesses in the southern megapolis. Anarta Stambekova will continue.
Тему продолжит Анарта Стамбекова.
From the first day of its independence, Kazakhstan has been actively cooperating with various international organizations in matters of the development of small and medium-sized businesses. UNIDO is one of the partners in this area. The structure was created in 1966 as part of the United Nations organization. UNIDO's mission is to advise developing and transition economies. This support includes the provision of information, the transfer of experience and technology, and the increase in trading potential. Nigel Croft is a quality expert at the UNIDO Department of Trade, Investment and Innovation. He has visited Kazakhstan several times in the framework of regional projects. In 2018, he traveled to Almaty to familiarize himself with the work of small businesses that are engaged in the output of light industry products. The purpose of his arrival is monitoring and developing recommendations for achieving international quality standards, as well as the development of export potential of Kazakhstani producers. Nigel Croft, international expert of United Nations agro-industrial development organization.
But typically, somebody...
what we want to do is to work with those associations of entrepreneurs, work with small companies, medium companies, with the support of government organizations.
The program of the UNIDO experts business trip included several Almaty enterprises, Shoe Republic among them. This shoe factory is a small workshop that employs only 5 people. Raw materials and accessories are purchased in Italy and Turkey. Models are designed to meet the trends of world fashion. About 1,000 pairs of shoes are produced here per month. Cooperation with UNIDO is considered by the factory as an opportunity for further growth. We will work with them to improve the quality of our shoes to meet their European standards. We want to deliver our goods abroad. And this is a family business where they sew knitwear, sports suits, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and underwear. The owner of the company, Igor Ilinsky, imports raw materials and accessories for the manufacture of products from Turkey, Japan, and the UK. He follows the trend of knitted fashion and the quality of his goods. Therefore, he believes that the products manufactured by his workshop can easily enter the export market of Europe. Actually, I saw t-shirts for 20 euro in the shops. Our price is 10 euros. It is retail. Wholesale will be even cheaper. So, for potential wholesalers who are in Europe, with our quality, price-quality ratio, this will be a very good offer.
Я думаю, что это будет при нашем качестве, соотношение цена и качество, это будет очень хорошее для них предложение.
The fashion designer, Olga Strigina, has been working in the field of sewing production for 15 years. For a long time, her company has been a supplier for one big Japanese company. This cooperation continues today, but the volume of deliveries has decreased significantly. And individual online purchases go to a variety of addresses.
Наш сайт, пусть в его даже очень таком сыром состоянии находится.
Our website is not finished so far, but it did the first sales. A Japanese woman from Canada bought a shirt from us. We had orders from Taiwan, Moscow, and Russia, of course. A guy from Paris ordered a gift for his girlfriend.
Российский рынок. Вот, а именно уже такие дальние. Да, там из Парижа тоже в подарок там своей девушке заказывала рубашку нашу.
Today, this company is looking for new stable customers who will buy goods not in single copies, but in bulk. At the same time, considering the existing experience, they count on a foreign market. The designer is sure of high quality of goods, since everything, from raw materials to equipment, meets world standards.
And I think that's very typical of many industries, where we look at the value chain, and industries in many cases are being obliged to import raw materials, import components in order for them to be able to supply to their customers.
According to the UNIDO expert, all of these enterprises are initially market-oriented. The strategy of the optimal ratio of price and quality should achieve its goal. Since today, the European consumers are trying to treat the choice of goods very rationally. And Kazakh entrepreneurs working in the field of light industry have every chance of entering new markets.
Есть все шансы выйти на новые рынки.
For this, it is necessary for associations that protect the interests of small and medium businesses to carry out organizational work on the introduction of certificates confirming compliance with international quality standards. By the way, Nigel Croft shared his assessment with the Chamber of Entrepreneurs of Almaty.
У него очень положительные отзывы о нашей компании. Он считает, что, в принципе, огромный потенциал.
He has very positive feedback about our companies. He believes that there is a huge potential. There is a possibility of entering the international level. The quality is very decent. Although entrepreneurs are in difficult conditions, they do not save on quality. They invest certain resources so that the Kazakhstan brand is recognizable all over the world.
Чтобы казахстанский бренд был узнаваем во всем мире.
As a result, a paradoxical situation may arise when Kazakhstani consumers find out about the existence of such a brand after domestic goods are recognized abroad.
Город Алматы представляет большой интерес для иностранных инвесторов.
Almaty is of great interest for foreign investors. The basis of this interest has several factors. This metropolis is one of the largest not only in Kazakhstan, but in Central Asian region. In Almaty, there are main offices and representative offices of leading international banks. Industrial enterprises successfully operate here. A developed business infrastructure has been created. Our correspondent, Yelena Orlovskaya, will tell you about the investment attractiveness of Almaty in more detail. Today, the southern metropolis provides about 20% of the volume of foreign trade turnover of the whole country. Experts explain such a high level by the favorable geographical location of Almaty. The fact is that the city is located near the border with one of the largest producers with consumers of the world market. Of course, you guessed, it is China. In the context of the perspectives associated with the global project One Belt, One Way, which involves the development of trade and economic relations between the Silk Road countries and Europe, Almaty gains even more opportunities to attract investments. The location, which in fact puts Almaty in the center of the Central Asian region. We are talking about the Silk Road. This is Great China, Europe, and Russia. Almaty is very well located. In principle, it is convenient to do business here. The largest growth of investments in the fixed capital of the city today is observed in the service sector, in the hotel and restaurant business, in logistics and transportation of commercial cargo. The industry is also developing well. For example, in the manufacturing industry, production increased by 5.7%. The industrial zone of Almaty, which is developing quite actively today, plays an important part in stimulating the interests of foreign investors.
Это очень большой проект. Сегодня практически
This is a big project. Today, 90% of infrastructure has been provided by the city. Work is now being completed on its railway station. In this regard, we see a great interest from large companies. Moreover, these companies are both Kazakh and international.
Со стороны крупных компаний. Причем это и компании казахстанские, и международные.
In the territory of the industrial zone, well-known foreign companies have opened their enterprises, including such a reputable multinational company as Tokyo Rope, which is engaged in the production of engineering protection systems. We see the potential of Kazakhstan, so we decided that it would be beneficial for us if we built our own plant here. We see the potential in Kazakhstan, and we decided that it would be profitable to build our own factory here. In 2019, a new enterprise will appear in the industrial zone, a Kazakh-Chinese enterprise for the production of pipes for the construction of trunk oil and gas pipelines, heating networks and nuclear power plant. The total investment is over 30 billion tenge. This is a Kazakhstan-Chinese project, a subsidiary of SMDC, and, accordingly, a subsidiary of Kazmunaygas, which is implementing a joint project to produce spiral seam pipes here. By the end of 2018, several more investment projects for a total amount of $45 million will be implemented. The opening of a large laundry plant with the participation of Russian capital is among them, as well as a pharmaceutical plant with the attraction of Turkish investments. A special role in the development of the investment potential of the city is played by the trade missions of foreign delegations. As a result of one of these meetings, an idea arose to open Kazakh-Swiss enterprise for the production of expanded clay bricks in Almaty.
System that doesn't need heating or need a very, very small heating in like heating pump and solar, but is a system that is anti-seismic, anti-fire.
The efficient work of the Center of Investor Services is a motivating argument in favor of investing foreign capital in the city's economy too. The managers at the Investor Service Center accompany the investors. We offer all tools we have today. Relevant structures and organizations that are engaged in attracting investments in Almaty conduct monitoring and analyze all the necessary data to create a favorable investment climate in the city. Therefore, there is always a pool of potential projects.
Why not from Kazakhstan? I think it's a good opportunity. Thank you.
На сегодня это все. С вами был...
That's it for today. My name is Yerkebulan Bekmukhanbet. See you soon in Single Market Program.
До встречи в программе Single Market.